Hi everyone, it's Ms. McCalmon. We are talking about the color wheel today. So this is your basic 6-color color wheel. You've got green, yellow, orange, red, purple, and blue. This is a classic color wheel that you've probably seen before and you will definitely see again in this class. So just to start off with some of the information on here, yellow, orange, and red are considered warm colors. You could think about like fire or the sun. Those are kind of where your warm colors are. And then you have green, blue, and purple as your cool colors. So you might think more cool nature, leaves and water. Those would be your cool colors. Now you can have a warm or cool tone of each color. So you could have a cool red or a warm blue, but that's a little bit more complicated in color, and we're not going to talk about that just yet today. I just want to break down our basic color wheel for us for today's activity, and this week we are going to get into color more than we have so far. So, there are also two more ways to break down this 6-color color wheel. You have two different types of colors besides warm and cool. So your primary colors and your secondary colors are what make up your basic 6-color color wheel. So secondary colors are made of two primary colors. So if you think second, like the number 2, you need two primary colors to make a secondary color. So red and yellow make orange, red and blue make purple, and then blue and yellow make green. So those are the 6 colors that you're going to see in a basic color wheel. Your 3 primary colors and the 3 secondary colors that you can make with those 3 colors. Of course, you can make any color with your primary colors, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. So when you have a primary color and a secondary color together, that is called a complementary color. Complementary colors, when they are next to each other, really stand out because they're the opposite of each other on the color wheel. So you have green and red, blue and orange, and yellow and purple are complementary color pairs. And like I said, when they're used together, they're pretty bright. So, last but not least, you have tertiary colors, and that is when you have a primary color plus a secondary color, and they make more variations. So now we're going to move on to the color wheel worksheet, which is what we're doing in class today. But I wanted to show you a couple things. So this is my finished worksheet. I started off by filling in my primary colors, so red, yellow, blue, and then I labeled those, and then I have my secondary colors, orange, purple, and green, and I labeled those as well. I actually messed up and used a yellow green instead of the regular green for that. So there I am fixing it, and I pulled out the green just to show you, and then that is the yellow green, which we're actually going to save for that bottom bonus question, which would be a tertiary color. Let me know if you need help spelling that. So I'm going to set those aside and then fill out the rest of the 6-color color wheel just by coloring in all the sections. So I just wanted you guys to have a resource of a color wheel for yourself, and so you know these colors. So those are my warm colors, orange, yellow, and red, and I am labeling that side of the color wheel warm colors. And then blue, green, and purple are my cool colors, so I'm also labeling that, and I recommend you do that on your worksheet as well. Now we're going to get to what is the opposite colors on a color wheel called, and that is your complementary colors. That is spelled with it 2 E's. It's not a complement, they're complementary. So now what happens when you mix a your complementary colors. So I want you to practice shading. So I'm going shading really lightly when I'm shading in that third box. So I'm going to layer these colors really lightly over each other. So I did green and then red, and now I'm going back with green and red again, and you kind of get this gray neutral color. So when you do that with all three of your complementary color pairs, you get kind of a neutral color. And that will be very helpful when we move on to painting. And then those are neutrals. So bonus is a tertiary color, which again is when you mix a primary color and a secondary color. So you think 1 + 2 = 3, tertiary. Your worksheet should look something like mine at the end of class. So I'm going to give you guys time to work on these now. Make sure you are including all of your labels too.